Alright you guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how we created this energy ball effect. Alright, so the first thing you guys are going to do is create a solid. You can name it energy just to stay organized during this project. Then we're going to go to the masking tool, go to ellipse tool, and we're just going to hold shift down, and then we're going to drag that out until we have a perfect circle. Now hit M twice on your keyboard to bring up the masking options, and just increase your feather slightly, just so that we can get the edges to be a little more feathered out. From there, we're going to add a fractal noise effect, change the fractal type to subscale, change the noise type to linear. Then we're just going to turn up the contrast and the brightness also just a tad bit until you find something that works for your scene. But if you're trying to follow this tutorial, do exactly what you see me doing. The complexity, we're going to turn down to about 2. This could be different for yours, but then we're going to go to the transform options. We're going to turn off uniform scaling. We're going to increase the scale width just so we could spread it out more. And then we're going to reduce the scale height a bit. Then click perspective offset. And if you move it around, you can see what it's doing, where it's moving it within the sphere. Then we're going to put a keyframe for the offset turbulence at the beginning of the clip and another keyframe for the end. And we're just going to turn up that offset turbulence until we can kind of animate it going across. Now when we're done that, we're going to grab that solid layer and we're just going to rotate it slightly to the left so that we have an offset on the angle of the animation. You could do this hitting W and bringing up the rotation tool too as a shortcut, just to let you know. Then go down to your evolution and holding the option button, I want you to click the stopwatch, and this is going to allow for us to create an expression, put down time, star 100, and this is just going to create an animation that keeps on going throughout the whole entire clip. Then I want you to pre-comp this clip, and we're going to move all attributes into that one. We're going to duplicate that main layer, and then we're going to disable that clip because this is going to be used for a displacement. And then we're going to create an adjustment layer, and we're going to add a displacer pro effect. You guys can look at my link in the bio or message me on Instagram and I can send you this. It's a free plugin, definitely something you should have in your toolkit. Once you get the plugin, I want you to go to map layer and choose the energy ball. Then we're going to go to our transform options, and we're actually going to increase the scale of it just a tad bit, and then go down to the anchor Y position of it, and we're just going to move that around a bit just to get more of a creative look inside of the displacement effect. What I want you to do now is add a vector blur effect to it, and don't worry about the displacement map, just increase that amount to about 7. And you can leave the other settings the same, or you can change it depending on what it is you're trying to do. Remember, this is subjective and just very much creative work. We're trying to make something look like what we visualize it to be. So if you want to follow my settings, you can definitely do that. But if you want to experiment, feel free to do that too. The next thing we're going to do is add a curves effect. We're going to go to the red channel, and we're just going to pull it up right near the dark region. And we're just going to increase the reds a bit so that we can emulate more like what fire would look like. And then we're going to go to the blue channel, and in the blue channel we're going to do the reverse. We're going to actually drop it down a tad bit, and this is what's going to create more of that orange color. Now click channel, go to RGB, and I want you to just drop down the darks inside of it just a tad bit, and this was going to bring more contrast back to the image. Last thing you're going to do is add a glow. I use the deep glow effect. You can use optical glow, or you can use the native glow plugin inside of After Effects. It's all the same thing. And I just want you to adjust things like the highlights, the threshold, and different settings until we can figure out something that really works. And if you don't have this, send me a message and I can help you guys with some resources and finding some of these plugins so that it makes it easier for you to create an effect similar to what I'm doing. Now that was the basic idea behind me creating the actual energy ball. The next thing you could do is actually go into the pre-comp of the energy ball, and I used Film Riot's energy burst effects. So once you're done that, you can go into the pre-comp, and what I did was go to Film Riot's energy assets from the Infinity Pack, and I just started to place different assets inside of the pre-comp, just finding things that really complemented what the energy was doing and how it was looking. So once you place a few of them in there, I'll let you guys watch a bit of what I did to make it look good. That just involved changing the curves around to match the highlights inside the scene, adding a bit of a blur to it, and just small little details so that when we bring it back into the main comp, these effects will be displaced by everything that we did previously, trying to make the energy ball look like what it did. And to create the shadow, what we did is duplicate the energy asset that we have inside of the project window, renamed it shadow, and all we did was pretty much make it a 3D layer and just reposition it to match the perspective of the floor underneath, and just added more of a blur to it and just adjusted a bit of the opacity, and this is what made it look like there was a shadow on the floor of the same thing, reflecting. Sorry, is a better word that I could use for that. And that's how you create your own energy asset in After Effects using the native plugins. If you guys like this, make sure to hit that like button, share, subscribe, comment down below. And if you guys need any help with anything, feel free to message me on Instagram, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.